Okay, hi. I am just getting so excited. I'm running a workshop called Somatics to heal family conflict tomorrow, and it's just for therapists and psychotherapists. But I'm just getting so excited about the topic. I wanted to hop on here and talk to you about how you can heal your family conflict, how you can build your healthy conflict muscle, which is so fun because when you have a healthy conflict muscle, every area of your life gets more fun. Obviously, family stuff, super important for, but it helps you. It's going to help your career. It's going to help your love life. It's going to help your friendships. And it's going to help when you're at the border or, at the DMV or whatever. So, family conflict is conflict with any family member. Can be with like your original family, like your mom, your dad, your siblings, parental figures, or it can be with the family that you currently live with. So, your spouse, your partner, your kids, any this applies to all of the above. So whoever you're having conflict with right now in your family, this is going to help you deal with that. So it's important to understand how the stress cycle interacts with the conflict that you're having. So the stress cycle has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when you help your body complete the cycle, then when you get stuck in the middle, you have to help your body complete the stress cycle. So scientifically, the best way to complete the stress cycle is to move your body. So that means go for a walk, go for a run, put on a song and dance, go swimming, however you like to move your body, it doesn't matter. But when you help your body complete the stress cycle, then your body closes the loop. So the stress cycle is this very cool system that humans evolved to create because in the past, and even sometimes in 2025, but this is mostly like we'll talk about cave people times, if there was a lion or a tiger, you would need the blood to run to your arms and your legs so you could run and bite and survive. So that's what the stress cycle is for. It literally takes your blood away from your digestive system. So if you're having digestive issues, this is relevant to you. Away from your immune system. So, sometimes we get sick more if we're in the stress cycle more often than we need to be. Or you get sick and it's hard to, you've been sick for a while and it's not going away. And the blood runs to your muscles, your arm muscles, your jaw, so you could literally bite the attacker or the tiger to your legs and your arms so you can survive. And the stress cycle is a very good thing. If there is a fire, you don't want to digest the hamburger that you had for lunch. You want all your blood to run to your arms and legs so you can get out of the building and get yourself to safety. The problem with the stress cycle is that in 2025, sometimes your stress cycle is not triggered by a fire or a tiger or an attacker. It's triggered by a text from your father-in-law or from your sister or from your kid. And so suddenly the blood is running away from
blood flow to the brain, the prefrontal cortex, the smartest part of our brain, decreases when you're in the stress cycle. So you literally can't think clearly. That's what that expression means, because your blood is running to your arms and legs so you can run and fight the tiger. But a lot of times in 2025, there is no tiger. It's just a text, and you don't actually have to run. But you don't know how to respond to the text because you don't have as much blood in your brain as you would once you complete the cycle. So when you're in a conflict with a family member, you want to start to notice, am I in the stress cycle? And you know that by, your face getting hot, maybe you feel anxious, maybe you are breathing really shallowly, you feel like a buzzing in your body. All of us are a little bit different, so the indicators will be a little bit different, but you don't feel calm and relaxed and like you're, sitting with your feet in the sand on the beach in Mexico or wherever you like to go on vacation. You feel agitated. Maybe you feel angry. Maybe you feel scared. Fear and anger are the fight and flight part of the stress cycle. Anger is obviously fight. Fear is flight. So if you're in the midst of a fight with a family member and you feel agitated, you probably want to take a break, help your body complete the stress cycle, and then return to the conflict. Not everything has to be resolved right away. And if I don't have all the blood flowing to my brain and the person I'm fighting with doesn't have all the blood flowing to their brain, it's going to be very difficult for us to resolve the real life situation. In conflict, there's a reality of something's not working, but neither of us have access to our brains. And I know some of you might be saying like, oh, well, my father-in-law needs to complete his stress cycle, or my sister needs to complete her stress cycle. And that's probably true. That would probably help, but we don't have control over that. What I have control over is my stress cycle. And the very cool thing about the human species is because we're mammals, my nervous system influences your nervous system. So you see this, like, you can imagine if there's like a group of deer and they're all sleeping, and then one of the deer hears a twig crack and their ears perk up and they start doing this. And then the other deers can feel the nervous system, and all the deers are listening and they're ready to run. Their stress cycles are turned on, like heightened, because there might be a predator. Since we're a species that exists in groups, our stress cycles influence each other. So I can make you more stressed if I am stressed. I can make you more angry if I am angry, because it's like there's a threat. We both need to be aware of the threat. But I can also help the family member I'm in conflict with calm down if I'm calm. I can't necessarily make them calm down completely, but the way that works in mammals is, if you think of a baby deer might get scared and they look to the mom, the baby deer looks to the mom deer or the dad deer to see if the dad deer or the mom deer has the ears perked up, listening for danger. And if the mom seems calm, the baby's probably going to calm down too, because they trust that the parent knows, okay, there's no danger, I don't have to worry. So if I enter into a conflict with a difficult conversation with a family member, and I enter in a super calm, grounded way, that conversation is probably going to go a little bit better And they might still be angry with me, but if they get angry with me and I'm able to stay calm because I've already completed my stress cycle, like I went for a big run before the conversation so I could enter really grounded. Or for me, one of the best things is dance. So if I like put on my favorite songs and I like dance it out really hard and I get really grounded, and then even if the person gets mad at me, I'm able to stay grounded. They probably aren't going to get as mad as if I match their anger, right? If they get mad, then I get mad, then they get madder, then I get madder. You know how that goes. So when you're in a family conflict, if you're getting super heated, which we all do, and that's fine. I get heated. Take a break. Say, let's talk about this tomorrow. Go for a walk, go for a run, do a dance class, take a shower, watch a funny show. Actually, like, funny shows help complete the stress cycle because laughter helps complete the stress cycle. If you're laughing, it kind of tells your brain and your body there's no danger, because if there was a giant fire or a giant person with a knife right in front of you, you probably wouldn't be like giggling. So take care of yourself and then return to the conflict the next day. And another thing, if you are in a conflict with a family member, is what is called energetic codependence. So that is when, because of this, us being mammals and our nervous systems being attached to each other, when you are a kid, your nervous system is super attached to your primary parent, which in our culture is often a mother, but can be any caregiver or parent. The person, the adult that keeps the baby safe, whoever they're around the most. The nervous systems are very linked. And again, as I said, if the parent gets mad, the baby is going to be stressed. And then if the parent calms down, the baby is going to be calm. And there's a healthy level of having our nervous systems attached. But a part of child development that not all of us got, I know I didn't get this part of my child development, and I had to work on this as an adult, is starting to detach from the parent or caregiver's nervous system. So as an adult, if my partner is mad, I don't have to get mad. I'm not a little tiny baby who this is my primary caregiver anymore. So you want to start to learn how to get out of your family members' energy field. And that can be a physical thing, and it is also definitely a mental thing, because sometimes someone texts you, right? Your father-in-law texts you, that's the person you're in a fight with, or your sister texts you, that's the person you're in the fight with, and you get super stressed. They're not even in the same room. It's just a little bubble popping up on your phone, and they're angry and suddenly you're angry. That means there's some energetic codependence happening, and that's something you want to start to detach from and start to say, okay, this is my energy field. It's safe for me to feel good, even if this other person is mad. And again, you're going to go back to your tools for completing the stress cycle. So you get the text from your father-in-law, or you get the text from your sister that tells you that they're mad and then makes you mad or scared. Then you want to go for a walk or go for a run or go swimming, or my favorite is dancing. Move your body in some way that's going to tell your body that it's safe. you got this little text message that said, you bitch, or whatever the text said. But it's safe. It's just a little pixel on your phone. So you want to go for that walk before you respond to the text. And when you are like super attached to some person, one of the things I recommend doing, and this might just be a temporary measure, this might be a forever measure, is wait 24 hours to respond to the text. Because the more you're texting, the more you're getting their brain's thoughts into your brain, the more you're connected to them. And if you know, okay, I'm too connected, whenever they're angry, I feel like I have to make them feel better before I can feel better. That means you are in energetic codependence. And so you want to wait 24 hours before you respond to every single text. And just do that for a week and see what it's like. If you notice that that person has to feel good for me to feel good, and so I have to change. Another measure you can take is, physical space. And if you live together, that can just be going out for a walk or meeting a girlfriend for dinner or getting out of the house so that you're not in that energy field all the time. So, what I want to encourage you to do is learn to build your healthy conflict muscle. So, the healthy conflict muscle doesn't mean you're like zen in a meditative state. If you can be, that's amazing. But sometimes in a conflict, you're going to be a little bit agitated, and that's okay. Or even medium agitated. Maybe you're even raising your voice a little bit. But what healthy conflict is not is 10 out of 10 stress cycle, 10 out of 10 angry. Sometimes you can have healthy conflict when you're 7 out of 10 anger and the other person's 7 out of 10 anger. But if you are both 10 out of 10 anger or 10 out of 10 blame or 10 out of 10 shame or 10 out of 10 anxiety, that is not healthy conflict. And the only nervous system you can control is your own. So when you notice, oh my God, I'm getting so mad and they're getting so mad. Or sometimes it might even just be, I feel kind of calm, but I'm pretty sure this person is 10 out of 10. So like nothing I can say is going to get through to them. That's when you want to take the pause and say, this is an important topic. I want to talk about it more, but I need a break. You don't want to say you're 10 out of 10 angry if they're 10 out of 10 angry, because that's not going to work. And it's true. If the other person is 10 out of 10 angry, I, Bryn, do need a break. I need a break. Let's come back to this tomorrow, or let's have lunch next week and talk about this, or let's go for a walk and talk about this. Going for a walk while navigating a conflict is actually really good because you're not looking at each other. There's not that direct eye contact, which can sometimes trigger, danger. And you're both actually regulating your nervous systems because you're walking. So, to build the healthy conflict muscle, the steps you need to take are to practice having conflict, and it can be with anyone. This doesn't have to be with a family member. Families with conflict are the Olympics, right? Families are the people we live with, the people that get under our skin the most, the people who we developed our brains around. It's the hardest. So to build your healthy conflict muscle, you can even start practicing having conflict when your nervous system is not a 10 out of 10 at the grocery store, or with a good friend who you trust, or, you know, something small like trying to get a hotel upgrade or trying to get a discount at Starbucks, or a great one is like, oh, my Starbucks order was wrong, or my restaurant order was wrong. I'm going to send it back. That's a great way to start to build your your healthy conflict muscle. You want to start with, it's a muscle. So when you go to the gym, you don't start with the 100-pound weights. You start with the 1-pound weights and you do reps, and then that builds the muscle. So it's the same with healthy conflict. So you want to start practicing having conflict when your nervous system's not 10 out of 10, anger, fear, whatever. And then the more you do that, the stronger that muscle is going to get. And then when you do have that hard conversation with that family member, it's going to be easier because you've been going to the gym and building that muscle. So family conflict is hard. Sending you so much love for the conflict that you're in. And it can get easier. It can get better. And the more that you build your healthy conflict muscle, the easier it's going to be, and the better